The creature behind the mirror. It all began on a quiet afternoon when Alex stumbled upon something that would change his life forever, his reflection. Alex had always lived a fairly uneventful life, tucked away in a sleepy little town where nothing out of the ordinary ever seemed to happen. He had his small circle of friends, his dog, and an old house that his family had owned for generations. The house was filled with creaky floors, faded wallpaper, and enough dust to make the air feel a little too thick. He'd always felt like there was something strange about it, something the house was keeping from him. But then again, maybe it was just the stories his grandmother used to tell him, stories of ghosts and hidden treasures buried somewhere beneath the old oak tree in the backyard. That afternoon, after his mother asked him to clean his room, Alex stood in front of the mirror, wiping the dust off the glass. As he stared into it, something odd happened. His reflection didn't move in sync with him. At first, Alex thought it was just his eyes playing tricks on him. He blinked a couple of times, rubbed his eyes, and then looked again. His reflection wasn't mimicking his movements. It was doing something else entirely. It tilted its head to the side, just slightly, as if inspecting him. Then, to Alex's shock, it spoke. "You're not really going to clean your room, are you?" The reflection said, its voice soft but undeniably real. Alex jumped back, knocking over a lamp in the process. He scrambled to his feet and faced the mirror. His reflection smiled back at him, though the smile wasn't the same as his own. It was crooked, almost mischievous. What are you?" Alex stammered. "I'm you," the reflection replied, its tone teasing. "Or rather, I'm your reflection. But I don't follow your rules. I've been bored, you know. All these years, stuck in the glass, repeating your every move. It's getting old." Alex's heart raced. Was he dreaming? Was this some sort of weird hallucination? The reflection chuckled, clearly enjoying Alex's confusion. "No, you're not dreaming. You can hear me, can't you? I'm real, at least as real as you are. The question is, can you trust me?" Alex swallowed hard. "Trust you?" The reflection nodded, its grin widening. "I've got information. Secrets. Things you've always wanted to know, but were too afraid to ask. Or maybe you didn't even know to ask them." Alex's mind raced. He had to be imagining things. But something about the reflection's words tugged at him. There was an odd sense of familiarity in the way it spoke, as if he had known this voice all his life, but just never realized it. "What kind of secrets?" Alex asked cautiously. The reflection's eyes gleamed with a strange light. "Well, there's a treasure buried in your backyard. A treasure that's been waiting for someone brave enough to find it." Alex blinked. Treasure? He'd heard the stories his grandmother used to tell him, about hidden fortunes buried deep beneath the ground. But it had always been just that, stories. "Treasure?" Alex repeated, trying to suppress the excitement building in his chest. "Is this some kind of joke?" The reflection's smile faded into something more serious. "Do you think I'm joking? Do you think I'm some trickster? I'm your reflection. I'm offering you a chance to uncover something real, something you never even knew existed." Alex took a deep breath. "How do I find it?" The reflection's lips twitched with amusement. "That's where things get interesting. You'll need to solve a riddle first." "A riddle?" Alex repeated. "What's the riddle?" The reflection paused for a moment, as though savoring the moment. "Here it is. I can be cracked. I can be made. I can be told. I can be played. What am I?" Alex stared at the reflection, trying to wrap his mind around the words. He thought of the possible answers. A joke, a secret, a promise. But none of them seemed to fit. I don't know," Alex admitted, frustrated. "Of course you don't," the reflection said with a smirk. "But you will. And once you do, you'll have the key to finding the treasure." Alex frowned, unsure of whether to trust the reflection. He wasn't sure if this was some elaborate prank or if he was being led into something dangerous. But his curiosity got the better of him, and after a few moments of thinking, he asked, "What happens if I don't solve the riddle?" The reflection's expression turned serious. "You'll never find the treasure. And maybe, you'll never leave this house again." Alex shuddered, but the reflection's words lingered in his mind like an echo. He didn't know what to believe, but something deep within him felt compelled to follow through. There was a pull, an undeniable draw to uncover the secret buried in the backyard. The treasure was real. He just knew it. "I'll figure it out," Alex said, more to himself than to the reflection. "You'll figure it out. But be careful. I might not always be on your side," the reflection said cryptically. With that, Alex turned away from the mirror, his heart pounding. The words echoed in his mind as he made his way out of the room and into the hallway. Over the next few days, Alex couldn't stop thinking about the riddle. It gnawed at him, occupying his every waking thought. He asked his friends about it, tried to make sense of it on his own, but nothing seemed to fit. It was maddening. Then, one evening, as he sat at the kitchen table, it hit him. I can be cracked. I can be made. I can be told. I can be played. What am I? A joke. The answer was a joke. Alex felt a rush of excitement. He ran to the mirror in his room, eager to share the solution with the reflection. I've got it, he said, staring at the glass. The answer is a joke. The reflection smiled, its eyes twinkling. Well done. You've solved the first part. First part, Alex repeated. What do you mean? The treasure isn't just about finding a hidden chest. It's about understanding what's hidden beneath the surface, the reflection explained. You'll need to dig deeper than you think. Literally and figuratively. Alex frowned. What does that mean? I'm not going to spell it out for you. The reflection said, its grin widening. You'll figure it out. But remember, time is running out. The next day, Alex went to the backyard, a shovel in hand. He felt a mixture of excitement and doubt swirling in his chest. Was this really happening? Was the treasure really hidden here? He began digging near the old oak tree, the place where his grandmother had always said treasures were buried. The earth was soft, and with each shovelful, his heart raced faster. He had no idea what he was looking for, but something told him that whatever it was, it would change everything. After what felt like hours, his shovel hit something hard. His pulse quickened. He cleared the dirt away, revealing an old wooden chest. The lock was rusted, but the chest itself seemed solid. Alex could hardly believe his eyes. He tried to open the chest, but it was stuck. Frustrated, he yanked harder, and the lid flew open with a creak. Inside was a small, dusty mirror. Alex blinked. Was this the treasure? A mirror? He picked it up, examining it closely. The reflection inside the mirror wasn't his. It was someone else's, a man he didn't recognize. Who are you? Alex whispered, his voice trembling. The man in the mirror smiled back at him, but it wasn't a friendly smile. It was cold and calculating. Ah, Alex, the man said, his voice as clear as if he were standing right beside him. You found me. But now, the real game begins. Alex stumbled backward, dropping the mirror. It clattered to the ground, the reflection vanishing in an instant. His heart raced. The reflection had been playing him all along. From that moment on, Alex realized that the mirror's secrets weren't just about a hidden treasure. They were about power, manipulation, and the fine line between truth and illusion. The reflection in the mirror had been guiding him all along, but not out of kindness. It had been testing him, leading him down a path of discovery that was as much about the mind as it was about the physical world. And now, Alex understood that the treasure wasn't just gold or jewels. It was the reflection itself, the power to control and manipulate reality. A power that could either free him or trap him forever. As he stared at the cracked mirror on the ground, Alex made a decision. The reflection might have thought it was in control, but he was done being its puppet. The treasure wasn't about finding riches. It was about freeing himself from its grasp. With that, Alex turned his back on the mirror and walked away, leaving the reflection behind, trapped in the glass, just where it belonged.